First of all, I want to say good afternoon to all my friends, colleagues, and of course, those who are with us on stream, especially the journalists. And we still have, I don't know, an hour, 2 or 3 further speculations from their end. Still 2, 3, or 1 or 2, 3 hours of speculation. So it's always good to keep them on their toes. As I said, Excellencies, His Excellency Co-Chair Alexander Novak, Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation, welcome to the 15th meeting of OPEC and non-OPEC ministers. Before we get to the scheduled business today, I must thank OPEC Secretariat for the recent statement in support of the Kingdom's Saudi Green Initiative and Middle East Green Initiative. These form an important part of the Kingdom effort to address climate change and reduce emission in the region environmental footprint. OPEC and its member countries are naturally committed to sustainable oil market stability, but they are also committed to addressing issues of global concern, including sustainable development, environmental initiatives and climate change, and the eradication of energy poverty. The new initiatives would allow the Kingdom to work with regional and global partners, many of whom are members of this group, and to transfer the knowledge and share experiences. OPEC and the oil and gas industry must be part of the solution to climate change. They possess critical resources and expertise that can help meet the challenge of reducing global greenhouse gases emissions. The G20 leaders have already endorsed the strategy advanced by Saudi Arabia to deal with climate change in the form of the concept of circular carbon economy and its 4 Rs: reduce, reuse, recycle, remove, as an inclusive and balanced solution for dealing with greenhouse gases emissions. It also embraced advanced technology as a crucial part of the global energy agenda. On such a vital subject as climate change, which impacts the lives and livelihoods of everybody in the planet and of course the generations to come, we must draw on these same spirits of unity that we have shown in dealing with the oil market over the past year. In fact, I would call for even more unity in approaching this long-term endeavor. We look forward to working with this group in exploring possible work streams that would enhance our collaboration in this important area. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, last month we called for a cautious and restrained approach, and unfortunately, we've been proved right by subsequent developments. Those who said we were behind the curve and not being responsive to the need of the market have now recognized that OPEC Plus cautious position was the correct course of action. We should all act in humility and recognize the limitation of our predictive powers in the face of unprecedented conditions. In today's uncertain environment, charting a rigid path of recovery is uneasy. The reality remains that the global picture is far from even, and the recovery is far from complete. On the supply side, we have continued to play our part. Compliance, for example, with the level we agreed has once again been an impressive, with new aggregate level set at about 113%. But we have to approach the coming weeks with the same admirable commitments. And until the evidence of recovery is undeniable, we should maintain this cautious stance. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a few months back, we found ourselves in the eye of the storm. The sea conditions have improved, and through our efforts, we have steadied the ship. For most part, the market is on stable footing, and stocks continue to draw down. In some of the parts of the world, such as the US and the UK, for example, the rollout of vaccines has been very effective. Stimulus measures are providing much needed support to revive the global economy, even in those sectors that were badly hit, such as airline travel. There are signs of meaningful improvements. But the waves are still tall, and the sea remains rough. In the Eurozone, infection rates continue to rise, and countries are reimposing full or partial lockdowns and extend restrictions to combat a third wave. Steering the ship in this current condition, where different scenarios are playing out in various regions of the world, require a steady hand on the trail, as I said back in February. It also requires flexibility and being responsive to market needs. Our agreement back in December 2020, provide us with the flexible mechanism to hold monthly meetings starting from January 2021, and to decide on whether to adjust output, be it increase, maintain, or even decrease production depending on the market condition. Continuing with this flexible approach will serve us best. Therefore, I would like also to make sure that we remind ourselves that this is the mechanisms that we have agreed to, and we did apply them in every way possible to ensure that we continue this approach of maintaining and meeting market requirements, yet assure ourselves of the flexibilities of these mechanisms to enable us to proactively engage the market in any time it is required for us to make an impact, positive impact, I hope. Without much ado, I would like to ask my friend and colleague, whom last press conference he bestowed on me this gracious attribute by saying he and I are one. And indeed, he and I are one. We think the same. We talk to each other more often than talking to our own families. And what a departure. Talking about last March and talking about the end of this last March. May I introduce Alexander to give us his good words.